The very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico Dicabia Mapuni, Chineke, and so on. If the winner is Shala, Nina, and I was a handsome Nana Jama, and Yana Pharisee, Obanana, all the and then so no one in because you will make a difference with your source and we're not going to but you know what? I would like you to believe that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you. The very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico Dicabia Mapuni, Chineke, and so on. If the winner is Shala, Nina, and I was a handsome Nana Jama, and Yana Pharisee, Obanana, all the and then so no one in
Because the Cuba make a Biafra way you also no more and we're not going to
but you know what? They will like you to believe that Samarekpa is the cause of this. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you.
Keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own actions. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Nigeria, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. El-Rufai brought them in. All the government brought them in. Are you deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building railway lines to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to you come to Onaji, you come to Herbert, you come to Agulere, you come to Igbo, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building the way to Nigeria, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for you, Nigeria, one Nigeria. I think she may be not again. You are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you everything, our VAT, our tax and pay. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport to Niger. Refinery to Niger. You take oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. And you're telling me that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. You are in one Nigeria. You're not going anywhere and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money so that they will come out pages of the newspaper to give the world the giving impression that everything is okay when things are go easy and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then we come back to say Nigeria is one. We must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You are suffering. They are killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. I mean, Democrats have subscribed to. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in? I saw the letter that Herbert wrote to President Biden. In it, Herbert said, come and help us fight terrorism in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said that because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not Igbo. When I say it, they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of you are not Igbo. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we are born, where our umbilical cord, our long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Colonial.
That your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and admiration.
To pray in the language of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile, Chineke na onye ndị nsọ na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile, onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto anyị enweghị iche ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị anaghị efe arụsị, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onweghị onye kere ya. Ọ bụ ya mere ndị Igbo ji wee na-etu gị ebighị ebi. Ndị nsọ na-agba oche eze gị okirikiri ha na-akpụ isi ala nye gị, ọbụladị ndị okenye oru abụọ na anọ bụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na ala ha niile si na ịdị nsọ Chineke nna nke igwe. N'ụtụtụ a, ehihie, abalị, n'ụwa niile bụ ebe ụmụ gị gbasasịrị ka ụkpaka nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ka anyị na-akpọkọta ha eze ebube onye ime eluigwe wee na-arịọ gị ma mma gị na ebere gị amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi ka igwe tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro, ka ha rabụ ndị kụziri ka ha wee megide anyị onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị nsọ, ka aka nsị ndị dị etu a wee baa ha ọnụ, ije obodo ekwensu bụ zuu wee laa ya n'iyi. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, biko nụ ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ ọsọ nna nke ebere na ụmụ gị atakwala n'ahụhụ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ka iwe na anyị ezi echiche na amamihe, mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne ịdị n'otu ọganiru, ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna, ka iwe etinye ụmụ gị ezi mmụọ nke eziokwu ma wezuga anyị aka ajọ ihe n'ime ndụ anyị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ka ọ ga-abụ na ikpeta mazị na Biafra ga-abịa, anyị ga-aja gị mma wee too gị wee gọzie aha nsọ gị, kpee isi ala nye gị, bulie aha nsọ gị elu site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ka a na-arịọ gị ise ise ise. This very morning, all of you, I believe that those who are watching know who we are and why we do what we do. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra Radio, Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, Chukwu Kikabi Amapurumi, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that the way we reason is very, very abhorrent, there is no need or reason why we should be suffering and complaining every blessed day without the courage to do something about it. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it? Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London. Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196, 174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022. In violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what they are not saying. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person who is not done anywhere. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what the Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial is not done anywhere. And you wonder why God cost you. You don't know what justice means. You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless. You cannot find anybody unless the law is written. Show me the law. Show me the law. I want to show me the law. Don't try that. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try rubbish. Don't try rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own position you don't respect. Supreme Court's judgment you don't respect. Then why are we in the place? Why are we in the court of law? Defended at all cost. At all cost. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody. The Fulani approach to the zoo called Nigeria is called the devil's alternative. Fulani, they have this two-pronged approach to the issue of one Nigeria. If they collapse you through banditry, they will overrun you because they believe they have superior weaponry. Right now, and all of them are in this game together. That's number one. If you sue for peace, which idiots like Omahi are doing, if you sue for peace, they will also get what they're looking for because they will plant Ruga in every local government area. The devil's alternative, whichever option you choose, men are going to die. Men will die. It doesn't matter the option you choose. If you wait for them to do things peacefully, which they will never do, they are going to kill you anyway because they'll be ruga. And you allow them to forcibly take over your land, you are taken over, they will take it by force. And Fulani will plant their people in your local government areas. That in the next 100 years, you'll be hearing about Olo Emirates. And then we'll be like Hausa people. Our great-grandchildren will now ask their parents, what happened? They will tell, oh no, there was somebody called Hope. He was playing politics. He loved Nigeria. There was one called Umahi. He loves Fulani. He used to wear Obada. But then we are gone. As a race, we are finished. And I said to these fools, Fulani Caliphate is dealing with you people, but you don't know it. They are like the vulture. Nigeria is pregnant. If Nigeria dies during the pregnancy, they benefit. Nigeria gives birth to their Ruga, which they want, a new Nigeria, which they want, is also to their benefit. The only people aiding and abetting them are these quislings, the flavors from the East, intellectuals, and sophisticated morons from the West. Ojukwu negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. That Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is. Always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it. And we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And
what we are pursuing is a part of pressure, relentless pressure, to ensure that Biafra comes. How are we going to employ that pressure? There are only two ways to get your freedom in the history of the whole world. Freedom can be gotten only two ways. One is through the ballot box. In other words, people will contest and they will have Biafra Nationalist Party. Yes, as they have in Scotland. And then we vote for them. When they then go to the house or maybe go to Abuja, they will say, we are here under the mandate of Biafra Nationalist Party. Because of that, we want to go and conduct a referendum in order for us to be free. The other way, you fight. Either you go through the ballot box or you fight. Which option are we choosing? We have chosen to fight.
We, the Biafrans, call the Finnish authorities to release Mazi Simon Ekpa immediately. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, has not committed any offense. Therefore, we demand for his immediate release. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa and free him now. No hand must stop Mazi Simon Ekpa from exercising his duty as a free man. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa.
For those of you who do not understand what we are doing, we are fighting for our freedom. And I believe that everyone in this life and in this world, wherever where you are, the country where you reside in, have a history. Now, I want every one of us here today and those who will listen to this particular speech to note one very important fact. Nigeria state came into being through conquest. This is a fact that nobody can change. Nigeria came into existence through conquest. And the forceful imposition of foreign rule, which denied the indigenous people in Niger area the opportunity to negotiate and choose what they wanted. That is the problem. We have lived with this foreign rule and this forceful union for decades, over 100 years. That is the problem. Now, I want everyone listening to me today to also understand that after this forceful union of Nigeria, called the amalgamation, successive regime, both before and after the shambolic independence, continue to hold the state together in a similarly forceful manner, the same pattern and the methodology that the conquest and invasion and the colonizers came in with. They're taught by the forceful and the barriers of the gun, they will continue to kill people for the unity of Nigeria. That also is the problem today. So, this impression that they are creating, that the country must remain as crafted from the amalgamation by the colonialists, and that this country called Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. That is also the problem. We have lived from centuries to century, and today we are in the era of 21st century. We are now in a global village where the things of the past and the things of the old are changing to become new. And they don't want to change Nigeria with the dangerous diversity that have now emanated from different angles and the different injustices and corruption, and now Nigeria has found itself to become an Islamic state. That is the problem.
Bondage in the zoo will be set free. I said everybody in bondage in the zoo will be set free. I don't hate anybody. I don't despise anybody. If I mention your ethnicity or your tribe, if I am a bit hard on them, know that I am specifically referring to those of them that they call their leaders, those who have led us this very blind alley, this very blind path, those of them that will continue to deceive, those that will continue to lie, those that will continue to prevaricate, those that cannot deliver any measurable or tangible developmental indices at all, in any way, shape, or form. We have come that the blind may see, not in the way they do it within Pentecostalism, but we have come to impart knowledge and reason. We start this very evening. The very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very program today. I thank you all wherever you are connecting us from. If you are joining us from Biafra land, you are joining from Nigeria, you are joining us from Africa, from Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand. You are joining us from Russia, from China, from Israel. Wherever you are joining us from, I welcome you to this very amazing program. And I thank you for being part of the program. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide you, protect you, secure you, and bless you abundantly as you join. Please, as you join us, kindly like and share the program. Very important, because in this very assignment of radical evangelism, you need to be part of it. We talk about taking over the media, speaking out and letting our voice being heard. The only way we can make our voice being heard is when you join a program, you share the live stream. You can share on TikTok, you can share on Facebook, you can share on YouTube, you can share on your Instagram, you can share on X, wherever you can share. You never can tell. Maybe your own sharing will be the one that will reach the right source. Maybe your sharing will be the one that will get the attention of the right people. You never can tell. That is why every one of us must be busy. Do not ignore. Do your own part. I will do my own part to always come here every morning, open up the studio for people to make their contribution. For the sake of those that are joining us for the very first time and those who are coming across our video for the very first time, I want to remind you once again, as always, that in this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach hate. We do not come here to attack people, to attack individuals, to attack any race or religion. What we do in this platform is to promote humanity. That is what we do. As long as you are genuinely seeking for freedom, regardless under which umbrella you are looking for freedom, as long as you're serious and genuine, we will be with you and we will give you a voice in this platform. This is a platform for public opinion. You are entitled to your own opinion. Likewise, my own very self that is sitting here, I'm entitled to my opinion. Whatever topic we share or discuss, you have the right to make your choice, either to listen or not to listen. The topics will not always suit you. The discussion will not always be on your direction. Whenever it hurts you or it touches you, it's either you look inward and make amends, or you walk away. Don't listen. Don't just be a nuisance. Don't just get angry unnecessarily. Meanwhile, as you are watching the program, If you have a superior argument, it is highly welcome. All you need to do is in the course of the program, when it is time, send in your request, and I will bring you in to air your opinion. The whole world is watching. People are watching on TikTok, watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube. So there are a lot of people that are going to hear you out. So whenever you feel you have a contribution to make, a superior argument to present, lay it out there in a civil manner. Don't curse anybody, do not insult anybody. Be civil in your presentation. And I bet you the world, more especially the Biafrans, will digest every single information you drop. And they will make up their mind and make their choice on what they want. Because the choice always lies on us. Individually, we have the right to choose what we want to do. So when we are talking about freedom, you can't be preaching freedom and then you are forcing something on people. No. People should also have the freedom to decide, to make decisions. People should have the freedom to make their choice. And that is why we're here. That is why we leave it open. That the only thing that qualifies you to join us on the platform is for you to be a human being. As long as you're a human with conscience, we will give you the time to speak when it is time. The only thing we demand is that try as much as possible to be civil. You might be angry, you are entitled to be angry. You might disagree, you are entitled to disagree. But in the process, try to speak in a civil manner, no insult. Not to the guest, not to the speaker, and no one is going to insult you. So I urge every one of us to be interactive in this platform, either in the comment section or you are joining us live. All you need to do is to send in your request. Once I see your request, I will bring you in to make your contribution. The judgment is left for the Biafrans to decide what they want to hear or what they want to listen to. So I appreciate everyone that have been with us on this platform today. We have come once again, as we always do, to continue to preach the gospel of freedom, to present Biafra as the only remedy to the failed state, Nigeria. When we say Biafra, the only remedy, we are not denigrating other regions or other tribes or other sections. All we are saying is that country should be created along value system in Nigeria. There should be disintegration of the present structure of the time bomb that is about to explode in Nigeria. There should be disintegration and country should be created among people that have the same value system. The Northern Caliphate can survive within themselves. They have enough to survive on their own. They have enough resources, they have enough manpower to survive on their own. They have enough to defend themselves. Likewise, the Yoruba Republic has enough to protect themselves, to defend themselves. They have enough resources to build themselves. The same thing is applicable to the Biafran people. The Biafrans have more than enough to protect themselves, to defend themselves, and to make themselves what they will be, what they want to be. The Middle Belt also can protect themselves, have more than enough resources to take care of themselves. They can defend their own land, and they can be who they want to be. That is why we are asking for this integration, because the more you continue to force people of diverse value system together, you are only creating a time bomb that will definitely explode. It's just a question of time. It will definitely explode. Just a question of time. So that is why we are presenting Biafra as the only remedy to the failed state called Nigeria. A failed state, not in propaganda, not in words. Verify. You can go and verify yourself. Every one of us know the indices of a failed state. We know what makes up a failed state. All you need to do is to go and check the indices. What makes up a failed state in Nigeria? You will see more than enough for you to reach the conclusion we have reached. And that is why today countries of the world are looking into on how to save humanity in Nigeria. The United States is leading the call through Donald J. Trump. to save humanity. And that is why Nigeria has been designated as a country of particular concern. So at this point in time, it's a great chance for us to do what we want to do, be who we're going to be, and be able to explore this opportunity to have a better life. More especially the Biafran people, because we are in the forefront of this persecution. We have suffered more than any other region or any other person in the past, and we continue to suffer. Therefore, we cannot be silent. We have to explore the opportunity to be who we want to be. So, my fellow Biafrans, whatever we say in this platform, in as much as we are speaking on social media, we don't push propaganda, we don't lie. All you need to do is to be patient and verify whatever we say. When we call Nigeria a terrorist country, it is not a propaganda, we are not just saying it to denigrate them. It is what they are, a terrorist country. How do you explain a first-class country, first world country, Canada, a judge in Canada declared the leading parties in Nigeria as terrorist organization? When the terrorist organization are running the country, what does that make that country? Automatically, that country becomes a terrorist state. That is what Nigeria is. That is why in Nigeria today, you see the terrorists running rampage, going freely, parading everywhere in convoy, and nobody stops them. Nobody dare talks to them because they are in their territory, because they are in charge. So when we call Nigeria a terrorist state, it is not a propaganda blackmail, not a smear campaign. No, it is a fact. It's a fact. The only thing you need to do is to go and make your own verification. Then you will find out. You agree with us. Just like when Mazen Nandekan called Nigeria a zoo. Many people got angry. They say, why would you call Nigeria a zoo? Why would you call Nigeria a zoo? Some people hated Mazen Nandekan for that. But today, those people are now saying that calling Nigeria a zoo is an understatement. They now realize that Mazen Nandekan was even trying to be lenient. He was trying to be civil. He was trying to be considerate in calling them the zoo. That Nigeria is worse than that. Some call it a jungle where animals eat each other. People describe it. They say it will be best described as a jungle. Not even because a zoo is organized. A zoo is where you put animals, they are organized. They have routine on how they do things. They are controlled. But in contraction called Nigeria, what we see there is animals eating each other. There is no control, not in the judiciary, not in the legislature, not in the executive. There is no control anywhere. They preach and talk about sovereignty. You are talking about sovereignty, but a foreign country like France is directing your president on what to do and what not to do. Today, France have gotten you into problem with Burkina, and you see how your plane was grounded and 11 officers detained. So when we talk about the contraption called Nigeria, it is a failed state in all indices. And we will continue to speak. And at the same time, we appreciate the United States for the step they are taking already. The step the United States of America is taking to make sure that life is saved in Nigeria. In as much as we want them to do more, at least they are doing something. But it's still because of them that we are coming out on daily basis to ask them to follow up and follow the everlasting solution, which is disintegration. We appreciate the United States. We appreciate the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, for taking a bold step. Only one tweet and one statement today, everything is turned around. Most of the narrative they have been pushing around, dancing around with it, they are dead today. Most of the narrative that the Nigerian government is using is dead. They can't use it anymore. They dare not use them anymore. Just like when they tell you farmer headers clashes. Every time it was farmer headers clashes, farmer header clashes. But today, that language is dead. That language is dead and buried. They can no longer come and speak about farmer header clash because the United States lawmakers have come on the ground in Nigeria to investigate and see things with their own eyes. Go to the IDP camp and see that what they have is not even an IDP camp. It's a slave camp. That is what you have in Nigeria, a slave camp. But for a very long time, we have been shouting and talking about these issues. Nobody pays attention. Even in the case of the genocide that the United States is focusing on today, There's no problem they call it a Christian genocide, but I bet you it didn't start as Christian genocide. That was Biafran genocide. That was the origin. Biafran genocide. It started as Biafran genocide, but nobody paid attention. We cried, we shouted, we did all we could, but nobody, for one reason or the other, everyone conspired and never talked about it. In one of the confessions, Matthew Ashimolowo, when he was making his confession, he said it, that he knew this genocide started from the origin, from the Igbo genocide in the north. There was a time in the northern part of Nigeria when they have their riot. And each time they have that riot, they go against the Igbo people. Everybody that is from old Southeastern region, they regard it as Igbo in the north. And once they are in that their riot or whatever, they take you out. Some of us who have lived in the north can testify to this, that when they come, they're not going to ask you if you are Igbo, Ijo, or whatever. Once they identify you that from the old Southeastern region, they see you as a Nyamili, and they come after you, are gone. Many people, millions, have lost their life in that manner in the northern part of Nigeria without any compensation, without any investigation, without anybody held accountable. We talked, we cried, we complained until we stopped complaining. But now, the reverse is the case. Since they have come against the Igbos, destroy lives and properties, and nobody talks, now they extend it wide to every indigenous person, Christians, to take them out. And finally, it is now in the public. And we thank God that the United States was bold enough to push it through Donald Trump. And today they are doing great. But we urge them to do more. We urge them to do more, not just rhetoric. You should go ahead and take action without delay, because delay is dangerous. The more you delay, they are buying time to create another strategy that they're going to apply. They are buying time. And we are calling for an everlasting solution, which is disintegration. Only that alone can guarantee a lasting solution. So today we have come once again, as we always do, to discuss on a very important topic. We will continue to highlight the world. We encourage Biafrans, we continue to speak on different topics. Today, we are talking about how Nigeria uses federal power to suppress Igbo, Biafrans. Who own Nigeria? This one is a question. Who owns Nigeria? We have seen many times Fulani claim that they own Nigeria. Have you sat back to ask, why is it that Fulani are claiming to own Nigeria? Who truly owns Nigeria? We talk about history versus propaganda. History versus propaganda. So it's a broad topic, but we are going to try as much as possible to touch it little by little wherever we can. And you that is out there watching and you are participating, you can equally come in, make your contribution where necessary, and also give your superior argument, if any. Don't be scared. I'm not going to insult anybody. Don't insult me. You are entitled to your opinion. You must not agree with everything I say. So when you come up, you are free to present your own superior argument, and the Biafran people will listen. So each time when we are here on this program, just feel free. It is a platform for public opinion. That is what I call it. It doesn't matter what you have in your mind. You must not agree with me. The only thing I advise is that when the topic does not suit you, when you feel you can't be able to comprehend the truth that is coming in the topic, you just log off. That's it. When you can't control it, when you can't handle the truth. But if you can confront the topic and you have a superior argument, come on, send in your request. I will bring you in, and then you will make your argument. The world is watching. They will be the judge. And I bet you at the end of the day, I also go back and rewatch and see my mistakes and learn also. So if you bring a topic, you bring a superior argument that is convincing, why not? We are here to learn. We are here to learn. Nobody knows it all. And that's why we're here, to learn from one another. I learn from you, you learn from me. So I welcome everybody. So let's go into the topic, which says how Nigeria uses federal power to suppress Igbos to Biafrans. The next one, who owns Nigeria? History versus propaganda. This is what we are going to discuss today, and we will try as much as possible to touch this topic and drill it. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching across the world, I want to believe that you can hear me clearly as you are watching me there. I hope you can hear me clearly. It's another day. We are now broadcasting and speaking on the same issue. Today's broadcast is not driven by emotion. Not by emotion. It is not driven, it is mostly driven by facts, history, and survival. That is what our program today is driven by. Driven by facts, by history, and by survival. As I always remind you, that my broadcast is not a broadcast of hatred. My broadcast is not a broadcast of hatred, and I have never been here just to hate people, and I will not do so. That I promise. This is a broadcast of truth. The truth, only but the truth, and we will continue, no matter how difficult it is, to continue to spill the truth. Even if that truth makes us to lose our audience, we will continue. There are still millions of people out there who are searching for the truth, and they will come along. So we continue to stand on that truth. And the truth is simple. Nigeria was not designed for justice. The contraption called Nigeria was not designed for justice. I want you to hear me clear. The country or contraption called Nigeria was not designed for justice. It was designed for control. That was the purpose. The British amalgamated people with different value systems together to force them together in order to control them. Nigeria was not designed for justice. So when you are in this contraption called Nigeria and you are seeking for justice, now you understand how difficult it will be for you to get justice. In an institution that was formed not to give justice, and you are in that institution looking for justice, do you know how difficult it will be? Every single thing in that very country will come against you. Now, do you understand why even the citizens of Nigeria do not support the truth? Most time, they focus their blame on the oppressed and they support the oppressor. Are you not worried? Why is it that Nigeria, they are too quick to come against the oppressed and they give their support to the oppressor? Only in Nigeria you can see that very, very open. It is because Nigeria was not designed for justice. It was designed for control. So anytime you rise up inside that thing that was designed for control and you are seeking for justice, every instrument in that institution will fight you. Every instrument in that institution will fight you because they were put in place for control, not for justice. You see why it is difficult, even for you to be a sincere human rights activist in Nigeria. For you to be a truthful human rights activist in Nigeria, you should be ready to go to jail as many times as possible, even to face death. You have said this in several occasions. Look at Shore, every day in and out of prison. In and out of prison. Look at Mazin Nandekano. They don't give him a preaching space. Look at Mazin Simon Ekpa in Finland, Unity. This attack on the voice of truth, voice of justice, voice of reason is because Nigeria was designed for control. And the only way you can get justice is to dismantle that contraption called Nigeria. That is why we present Biafra as the only solution. Disintegration as the only solution. Everybody go their separate ways. Create a country in which they can be able to survive, express themselves without any obstruction. But as long as you continue to build on nothing, it will never stand. A country that was designed for control, and you are in that country seeking for justice, it will be like passing the needle, passing the camel through the eye of a needle. Almost impossible. You can't get justice in Nigeria. And that is why anybody that knows the foundation of Nigeria on how it was formed, they are not surprised when certain information and news comes out. If you know what Nigeria was created for, you will not be surprised when you hear certain news, certain information about it. Today, we are talking about how the Nigerian state has systematically marginalized and manipulated the Igbos, the Biafrans. That is what we want to discuss. How Nigerian state have systematically manipulated and marginalized the Biafrans, more especially the Igbos, using their federal minds, using their political engineering, using their false historic narratives, using their colonial structure inherited from Britain. This is something that was put in place from the beginning of the creation of that contraption. We will also address the dangerous claim that one ethnic group owned Nigeria, and why that narrative did not come from history, but from colonial convenience and post-colonial power politics. The informations we are sharing here, some of these are things they don't want you to know and they don't want us to say. These are some of the ones that anger them, that made them to detain Mazen and they can without an existing law. It is because of this that Mazen Simon Ekpa was also detained in Finland. But we will not stop speaking this word. We will not stop educating the world about what Nigeria means, about what it means to remain, allow that country to continue to exist, the danger. That is why we continue to address these topics. We will also address the dangerous claim that one ethnic group owned Nigeria, and why the narrative did not come from history, but from colonial convenience, post-colonial power politics. If this conversation makes you uncomfortable, then it is doing its job. Each time you come to our platform and the topics makes you uncomfortable, just know that the conversation, the topic, the broadcast is doing its job. And we will continue, just like in this one. I know many of them, the one Nigerians, they are going to be uncomfortable today, but we don't care. We are about the truth. Spill it out. Say it the way it is. Nigerian government is using their federal might to oppress and intimidate the Biafran people, more especially the Igbo people. Let us be honest. Nigeria does not operate as a true federation, has never operated as a true federation. More especially at this moment, Nigeria does not operate as a true federation. It operates as a centralized power structure where force replaces fairness. A centralized power structure where force replaces fairness. That's what you have in the contraption called Nigeria. And that is why they can use their federal might at any point in time to intimidate the people. They use their federal might to decide who gets infrastructure. They use their federal might to decide who gets security. They use the federal might to decide whose votes matters. They use their federal might to decide whose life are negotiable. We see this on a daily basis. And if you don't think deep and listen, you wouldn't know why things are happening the way it's happening. The infrastructure deficit in Biafra land is intentional, planned and put in place by the federal government. It is a policy put in place by the federal government to make sure that there is infrastructure deficit in Biafra land, more especially. Look at security issue that everybody is crying about today. The federal government of Nigeria intentionally make the Biafra land insecure, and other regions where there are indigenous people, they make sure they make those places insecure for the benefit of the caliphate and their Fulanization agenda. They decide who is going to be secure and who is not going to be secure. That is why you will hear a report like that the bandits were coming and people, villagers, made a call to the police, made a call to the army, yet nobody came to their rescue. That is why you heard that robbers, criminals will be operating in a certain place. Bandits, kidnappers will be operating. You will call the police. They will not show up. Not until those hoodlums leaves before they will come. Because the decision has to come from the federal government. You have heard their military men cry so many times online that at a point in time they came face to face with the terrorists to take them out. But the decision on who will be taken out and who will be left alone comes from the federal government. And they will come and say, withdraw. Recently, we heard that the children who were kidnapped in their school, that before the kidnappers came in, a call came in and the security men were withdrawn. The federal might decide who is going to be secured and who will not be secured. You see how dangerous it is to continue to allow Nigeria to exist. In Nigeria, election and voting doesn't matter. But sadly, the West continue to describe Nigeria as a democracy. Nigeria is not a democracy, has never been and will never be. Because it is the federal government that decides whose votes matters. Just like they will sit and tell you that it's only the northern vote that will decide whether you become a governor, a president or not. This is something that comes from the federal. The federal within themselves have decided that only the northern part of Nigeria will decide who becomes the president. It is not your vote that matters. Including becoming a governor, your vote doesn't matter. That is why somebody that took fourth position was made a governor in Biafra land. We have seen governors being removed in broad daylight. A governor voted in by the people, removed. And the only way he could be able to regain his seat is to pay allegiance to the presidency and finally jumping ship. That is the only guarantee for him to return as a governor. You see how dangerous it is in Nigeria? That is why you must not allow Nigeria to live in this minute. Only the federal government will decide whose life are negotiable. Federal government will decide whose life are negotiable. You have seen in several occasions, kidnappers come in and kidnap. Federal government go and pay ransom. Some people are kidnapped. Federal government doesn't pay ransom. They decide whose life matters and whose life does not matter. They decide whose life are negotiable and whose life are not negotiable. We have seen the federal government go to countries and pull out their detainees, pull out even people on drug cases. On drug cases, they go negotiate and bring them home. But we have seen on the same place, innocent people detained innocently. Nobody comes for them. And they are being murdered in cold blood. The evil in the contraption called Nigeria is so much that you don't know where to start. And because of this evil is why we are calling for creation of country along people that have the same value system. Centralized power structure in Nigeria has replaced fairness. There is no fairness in Nigeria. You can never find fairness in anything done in Nigeria. There is no fairness, and there will never be. Stop expecting fairness. The only time you can have fairness is when you are in a country where you have a single value system. Now you see how dangerous it is to continue to allow that contraption to survive the next minute. When federal power is deployed in Igbo land, it is really for development. Anytime you see federal might deployed in Igbo land, anytime you see federal power, either they are forced to deploy in Igbo land, it is really for development, not for security, not for safety of anybody, not for development at all. It is usually for intimidation, for suppression, or for political punishment. Go and check. Anytime federal power is deployed in Igbo land, it is always for intimidation, for suppression, for political punishment. We have never seen any move or any deployment that was made in Biafra that was to make the people happy, to secure the people, or to create safety in the land. Today, the insecurity you are seeing in Biafra land is 100% caused and created by the federal government of Nigeria. It is a master plan put in place by the federal government under Muhammadu Buhari by the Fulani Caliphate to make sure they destabilize Biafra land in order to be able to take it over and penetrate. The program started from Muhammadu Buhari, and he was able to cage the governors, and the governors went ahead to proscribe the Igbo people. Proscribed every Igbo youth were proscribed by the governors, and they invited the military. From that Python dance to date, Biafra land has never been the same anymore. From Python dance till today, Biafra land has never known peace. This was the most peaceful region in Nigeria. The most peaceful region in Nigeria. But they came and they destabilized it. They created chaos, brought intimidation, they brought kidnapping, they brought organ harvesting, they brought different kinds of crimes. In Biafra land today, roads collapse, ports are abandoned, security fails, yet the blame is pushed down, never upward. In Biafra land, roads collapse, ports are abandoned, security fails, yet the blame is pushed downwards, never upwards. In everything that happens, they blame the citizens. They blame us, the Igbo people. for every single thing that happens. The federal government in Nigeria never take responsibility for anything in Biafra land. Never. In everything, they blame us. And most painful, they use the governors they put in place. Governor like Obozodema and Igbo to always move forward to blame us for every single thing, crime they commit. There is a video I'm going to play later on. You will see where the criminal, David Umahi, the idiotic Dave Umahi, was saying that now there is no longer marginalization in Biafran land. You can imagine Dave Umahi standing on national TV to say there is no more marginalization of the Biafran, of the Igbo people. Now there is no need for Biafra. That we have nothing that now the Igbo land is developed, contracts have been awarded. You can imagine the madness. You can imagine the madness. And when you have idiots like that, who are playing the role of the caliphate, always in their babariga, how do you think that you can make headways? It is always almost impossible. It will be almost impossible to make headways. I'm going to play the video later on so that you can see how the idiots are representing you. The people that you supposedly are supposed to be your representatives. This is a shame. The road collapse in Biafra land. Ports abandoned, security fails, yet they blame us. This is not coincidence. It is not coincidence. It has never been a coincidence. It is designed. It is designed by the federal power. Designed by the British from the foundation to designed by the British. To make sure that Biafra land is frustrated. To make sure that we do not attain the height we want to attain. And they are using politicians in Biafra land to accomplish this mission. That is why if you are a Biafran and you are participating in politics, you are voting in one way or the other, supporting one politician, you are an idiot. And you are part of the problem. You are part of the problem. Because the situation is going to get worse. It is going to get worse. The politicians have played a major role in the enslavement of the Biafra land today. This is an uncomfortable truth that we must address. Very uncomfortable truth that we must address. You can imagine somebody like Dave Umahi coming out to tell you that the Igbos are no longer marginalized under Tinubu. Even when he knows that now the Igbos are even more marginalized now than ever before. We are more marginalized now than ever before. But Dave Umahi came. Just listen, I'm going to play the video later. You will hear him from his own mouth and you'll be ashamed of yourself. Marginalization does not survive on force alone. It survives through local collaborators. Marginalization does not survive on force alone, not by forceful means alone. It survives through local collaboration. And one of the collaborators that we know today is Dave Umahi. He has presented himself. Some politicians are elevated, not to represent their people, but to neutralize resistance. That is what we see in Biafra land. Every politician that is appointed in Biafra land, because I know they are not elected, every politician in Biafra land, they are there not to represent the people, but to neutralize resistance. That is what they do. Once Hope Uzodinma is doing today is to neutralize resistance in Imo State. Soludo is doing the same thing in Anambra State. All Jews of Carlo is neutralizing resistance in the House of Assembly. Every single one of them is appointed. They are there to neutralize resistance of the Biafran people, the resistance of the Igbo people, the resistance of the people they say they are protecting. And this is also applicable to some other regions also, some regions. But I have to be precise about my own region because that is where is my concern. That's where my concern lies. But I can bet you there are some other regions that are facing the same thing. The people that are being put there to represent them are not representing them. They are only a tool in the hand of the government to neutralize the resistance of the people. That is why they are there. And the federal government will elevate them to a very big height. Even though they are not qualified in a normal proceeding, in a normal election, they will never find a place. Just like you saw who came fourth. Coming fourth automatically means that the people don't need you. Dave Umahi is there on appointment. Audrey Okalo, you see him. Even the people he is dealing with don't even trust him. They take him to jail, they break him out and give him a condition. He cried out. Some of them are doing. They have just been placed there to neutralize our resistance. The resistance of the people that have conscience, people that are seeking for fairness, people that are seeking for justice. Because Nigeria was not created for justice, it was created for control. Because it was created for control, every single politician that is there in the House of Assembly, House of Representatives, governors, claiming to represent you are not. Their duty, their utmost duty is to neutralize resistance that is coming from the masses. Don't ever forget this. And the only way we can be able to fight this and succeed is to disintegrate this very construct of the British to control us and then create country along value system. Among people that have the same value system. Nations are created among people that have the same value system. Until we do that, they will continue to neutralize our resistance using their politicians. These same politicians who they are using are rewarded for silence. They are rewarded. When they don't talk, they don't complain, for their silence, they are rewarded. You see some of them promoted, given different ministers, given appointments. As Hope Uzodinma is coming down today, they give an appointment. You see them appointing ambassadors. Criminals have been appointed as ambassadors. You see governors ended up in the House of Assembly. Ended up in Senate. They are being rewarded in their silence. They are being promoted for compliance. Because they comply to the evil. They comply to your enslavement. They continue to comply to silence you and neutralize your resistance. They gain promotion from the federal minds. And each time you see the federal government defending them for their loyalty to the center, not to their constituent. They defend them for their loyalty to the center, to the federal government, not to the constituent. This is happening not just in Biafra land, in other regions, but I speak about Biafra because that's where I'm concerned about, that's where I came from. Today, you call out a politician that is stealing, involved in fraudulent activities, the federal mind will suppress your voice and make sure that they give him support. Just like when they come, they'll tell you, go and hold your governor accountable. Go and hold your local government accountable. Go and hold your lawmakers accountable. Who the hell are you to hold them accountable? When they have the protection of the federal government. You can't hold them accountable when the federal government is on their side, protecting them. You can't even protest in their homes. They are being protected by the federal government. You can't even call them out. We have seen many people being jailed simply because they called out a governor. You see people being jailed simply because they called out a politician. They lock them up for years. We see it again and again. That is what Nigeria is all about. For control, not for fairness, not for justice, for control. That is why we must have to dismantle it. This is how manipulation works. They manipulate you at all times using the politicians. Give a few people title and deny millions justice. That is what we see in Nigeria. They choose few people and they give them titles, call them names, adore them, and lift them to the highest level. And they deny millions of people justice. Today, you look at somebody like Atoeze in Biafra land, who is moving with a convoy that the president cannot move with, who is being secured like a president, and so many of them who have been elevated to the very high level. They are being given titles, different kinds of titles, but in that their elevation, millions of people are denied justice. Millions are denying justice. That is the system of control that we have in the contraption called Nigeria. Why no sensible person must allow it to survive the next minute? It is not just about us Biafrans, but we have to speak. For those who want to pay attention and learn and fight their way out also. Create a country along value system. That is all we're asking for. We are not asking for war. We are not asking for anybody attack anybody. No. Create country along value system. It is because of this falsehood today that some people are claiming ownership of the zoological republic called Nigeria. Every one of you have seen in several occasions that the Fulanis are claiming to be the owners of the contraption. The Fulanis, they will come out openly, even on their national TV, and claim ownership. Even if they don't say it directly, from their speech and the way they behave and talk, you will know that they are claiming ownership. We have heard them several times say they are born to rule. Let me say this clearly. No ethnic group owns Nigeria. No ethnic group owns that contraption. No ethnic group owns that contraption called Nigeria. Nigeria did not exist before 1914. There was nothing like the Zoological Republic. That contraption did not exist before 1914. What existed were independent nations, cultures, economies, and systems. There was nothing like the contraption called Nigeria before 1914. It doesn't exist. The only thing we had in that territory is independent nations, cultures, economies, and systems. The idea that one group has divine or historical claim to rule others is not African tradition. It is colonial logic that was put in the head of the Fulani Janjaweed by the British. It is the British that planted that nonsense into the head of the Fulani. The idea that one group, just 1 minute. Sorry for the obstruction. Sorry for the obstruction. Back. Just have a little bit emergency. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. We must continue. Just got a little disruption. So as we are saying, where did I stop? I can be able to. Okay, we must continue to pay attention to the obstruction and disruption of the Zoological Republic as they put in their control system. Just as I was saying, Nigeria was never made, it was never made to succeed. It was never created for any one of us. It was never made for us to succeed. It was made for control. And they continue to push that control for as much as they can. They continue to use their control system for as much as they can. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your tribe, it doesn't matter what you believe, you must have to understand that that contraption was created not for your own good. It was put in place for control. It was put in place for control. And you must not allow yourself to lose focus. You must not allow yourself to be controlled. No matter how they try, no matter how they try to confuse you, no matter how they try to distract you, no matter the differences, no matter the kind of things they present, because they're going to present a lot of things before you. Do not get distracted. Remain focused. And I bet you at the end of the day, you are going to see the difference clearly. And you're going to know that they are not for your own good. So we must continue to pay attention to the situation of that contraption and whatever it presents. No ethnic groups own Nigeria. No ethnic group owns Nigeria. Nigeria did not exist before 1914. What existed were independent nations, culture, economy, and system. That's what we had then. The idea that one group has divine or historic claim to the others is not African tradition, has never been. More especially those who are claiming to own the land are not even Nigerians. They are not indigenous to that contraption called Nigeria. These are strangers that came from outside. All of a sudden, they are claiming ownership. Fulani does not own anywhere. More especially in that contraption. They don't own any region in that contraption. They don't. The idea that one group has a divine historic claim to rule others is not African tradition. It is colonial logic put in place by the British. Colonial logic. The Fulanese got that impression from the British because British was busy manipulating, was busy building control system for themselves. And they took that control system and handed over to Fulani. And now Fulanese believe that Nigeria was handed over to them, that it becomes theirs. But the truth is, they are not even part of that contraption called Nigeria. But today, they are in the front line of creating chaos, claiming ownership, claiming born to rule, because of the control system of the British that was put in place. And they are the ones that is standing in front, making sure that there is no justice for anybody. This very logic of owning everywhere, This is the same logic they imply, the same logic used by empires to justify domination. This same logic that Fulanis are pushing around is the same logic that empires use to justify domination. That they own a place, that they bought a place, that a place was handed over to them. It is the same logic. And we are seeing it play out in Nigeria, and people take it for granted. People are not paying attention. We see it play out in Nigeria, and you want us to keep silent and pretend all is well. Of course, we will not pretend. No, we will not pretend. We will speak. We will voice out. We will talk. When that narrative is repeated today, it is not about unity, it is about power preservation. When you see this colonial logic being presented, some people claiming to be in control, claiming to be the one that will give you the vote before you become a president, claiming that they are the ones in charge, born to rule. It is not about unity, it is about power preservation. That is what the Fulani Janjaweed and their caliphate is all about. It's about power preservation. And we must not ignore these things. These things, systems, ideas are surviving because the British put it in place and they continue to water it till today. That is why we must talk about the British. That is why we want to talk about British. Martin Nanikan made a lot of brokers about them, which I play most of them on my intro. We will talk about them. Britain did not unite Nigeria for peace. The British never united Nigeria for peace. They did not. That wasn't their reason. That wasn't the purpose of amalgamation. The purpose of amalgamation was not for peace, was not for unity. It was for control. Britain united Nigeria for administrative convenience and economic extraction. That is the only purpose. But it's unfortunate that today there are people who claim to be in that Nigeria today, and they are very, very bent. They put their life on the line to preserve that administrative convenience and economic extraction of the British. They want to preserve it by all means possible. You dare not say anything against it. Even when they know that the thing they are protecting was not put in place for peace, not for unity. But they put their life on the line. They take lives. They take lives to preserve the administrative convenience of the British and economic extraction of the British. Borders were drawn. Even in Biafra land, in other areas, borders were drawn without consent of the people. Without the consent of the owners of the land, borders were drawn. Power was centralized without any form of balance. Certain groups were empowered to rule over others. That was what happened in the case of the Fulanis. How many are they? They are not the most educated. They are not the most populated. They are not the strongest one. They are not even the most religious. But yet, the British chose them, empowered them to rule over others, and continue to empower them up till this minute as we speak. The Fulanis are still running the affairs of Nigeria. And there is nothing you can do about it. As long as you continue to identify with Nigeria, you are under them. With the help of the British. As long as you continue to identify as a Nigerian, the Fulanis will rule over you. They will run over you. They will control you. They will decide who lives and who dies. It is a truth, a bitter truth that we must tell. Some people call this indirect rule. But its real name was divide and control. Divide and control. And the perfect tool to be used are those who are not indigenous. And they are doing that work very, very perfect. Divide and control. That is what you see in the contraption called Nigeria. Britain handed over a flawed structure and walked away while conflict continued. They knew it wasn't a mistake. The British handed over a flawed structure and walked away while conflict continues. Today's instability did not start today. The terrorism you are seeing today didn't start today. The insecurity and the loss of life you are seeing today did not start today. It all started with colonial engineering. It all started with colonial engineering. For every single attack of the Fulani from the colonial master, British were in support of them. They promoted it, they supported it. The terrorism you are seeing today have grown to a different level. Started all the way from colonial engineering. We say things they don't want you to hear, or things they don't want you to know, but we will continue to say them because they are truth. That is why today we are calling for the disintegration of the Zoological Republic. That is why the Biafrans are gone from Nigeria. We are no longer part of Nigeria. That is why we are out of that contraption. The Biafran question is not about hatred. It is not. They continue to paint it to be hatred. They continue to paint it to be violence, just to demonize it. But I bet you, the Biafran question is not about hatred. It is about choice. It is about dignity. It is about survival. The federal government of Nigeria and the colonial masters can continue to paint it whatever they like. They can continue to demonize it. They say, give a dog a bad name to kill it. That is what they are doing to Biafrans. But I bet you, the Biafran question is not about hatred. Has never been about hatred. It is about choice, dignity, and survival. That is what it's all about. When people ask for self-determination, they are not asking for chaos. It is not. Whenever you see a group of people ask for self-determination, they are not asking for chaos. They are asking a simple question. Can we decide our future freely, peacefully, and lawfully? That question cannot be suppressed forever with force. History has shown us that no structure built on injustice lasts. No structure built on injustice will last. But that is what we see in Nigeria. Nigeria is completely built on injustice, on fraud. Nigeria is built on everything that is wrong. And that is why we must continue to speak. We must continue to challenge that evil. We must continue to reject that evil. And we must continue to call out the perpetrators of that evil. It doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter how powerful they are. We will continue to call them out at every given time, at every given opportunity. When we talk about their modus operandi and how they control, I am going to play after we're going to have a short break. After this short break, when we come back, I will play a video that is from their conventional media. Then we are going to hear the issue of that, the one that called himself Dave Umahi, who came on national TV and said that the Igbos are no more marginalized, doing the job of his paymaster. Let us take a short break and we will come back for that.
Language of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Yes, I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful.
When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Welcome back. Thank you so much for your patience being with us. Though we have some obstructions today, sometimes it's like that. I'm having some issues and I have some other emergencies to attend, which I'm going to be able to attend immediately after this program. So I'm not going to spend much time like we do in other days. So let's try as much as possible to catch up with the rounding of our program. Let us listen to this program from Arise News. That I was been talking about. Let us pay attention and hear this information that's coming from our right
news. Sabotaging the oil and gas sector. Now to Osun State, with new reports emerging that the Department of State Services invited an Islamic cleric in the state, identified as Sheikh Dad Imran Molasan, for questioning following a pro-Palestine protest held in the state. Sheikh Molasan, who leads the Islamic group Tawumi Muslimin, and serves as the Grand Mufti of Yoruba land, was reportedly taken into custody after a video surfaced online showing him and his followers calling for the liberation of Palestine from Israeli occupation. The footage, which featured members of the group waving Palestinian flags during a match in Igbo, quickly went viral and triggered widespread debate on social media. Let's take a look.
شعارنا الإسلام تمكين ثم الخلافة الإسلامية أهدافنا تحرير الأرض.
This is unbelievable, Dr. Abati. When I saw this video, well, according to the DSS, Mullah Sang was invited to the DSS and left the same day after administrative processes. But still, this video is concerning, especially as conversations around religious extremism in Nigeria have gained traction in recent weeks. I mean, what really is going on here, Dr. Abati? I mean, waving other people's flag. I mean, we had that issue when there was that riot, I believe, in the north where people were raising the Russian flags, and I believe that the security agencies said something about it being against our sovereignty and all of that. What do you think is going to happen to this man? And is this, legal?
The Department of State Security has the responsibility to investigate, and it's simply to be assured that this is not going to lead to any crisis.
Okay.
After all, in the United States, persons who are also pro-Palestine and anti-Semitic,
yes,
they've gone after them, including universities and all of that. But I don't think in Nigeria there is an ideological reaction from the state. It's simply about making sure that this doesn't get escalated. The people who say they are against Israel, and the war in Gaza, what they are saying simply even aligns with Nigeria's foreign policy. Nigeria's foreign policy does not support Israel, attacking, Palestine or the crisis, the escalation of the crisis in Gaza.
The story had been trending. Also, what I wanted to say was that in the video, like you saw, the people were almost like pledging allegiance to, and there were children, and also they had the age of Hitler.
I cover that by saying that the state has a responsibility to investigate the nature, the extent.
You see this idiot called Abati. If these people who we are doing this were to be from the southeast, he is going to be on a different tone. But you see how he tried to play down what these people are doing. When you see these people, this is how they form a militant group. Before you know it, they'll be armed. And the only reason this man was released, immediately the DSS came and released him because he is pushing the ideology of the caliphate. If these people were to be from the southeastern region, this man is not going to be out of the DSS in the next 1 year. He's not going to be out of there. But now, because this man is representing the caliphate, because what this man stands for is what the caliphate want. And you see Abati playing it down, that they investigate, and this woman is still trying to call back his attention, that there are children, you see them there, radicalizing children, raising that salute they are raising there, and you think it's a joke. This is how they form their armed group. Before you know it, they become another terrorist group in the southwest. But they played it down. Even the man came and made a video. I saw a video, the man came and made, I said he was not arrested anywhere. That he and his DSS are one, that he was not arrested. So when we talk about this double standard we are talking about, this is one of it. When you see these kind of things happen, if it has happened in our side, look at them, they are raising the Palestinian flag. It doesn't mean anything, but when we raise our Biafran flag, it is a problem. They saw it in their clothes and they are raising salute. It is not a problem. But when we, the Biafrans, do it, it's a problem. You see why we can never be part of these people. There is nothing you will tell me on this earth that this very thing was created for peace, for unity, for security, or for safety. No. What the British put in place is a time bomb that will explode. The only thing they are doing today is postpone that day of doom. You are only postponing it. Is it going to come? Definitely it will come. But before it comes, we the Biafrans will be out.
And the scope and whether there's any external, influence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are
However,
questions.
the ones you raised earlier, which is that, look, we have this false death syndrome in Nigeria, where people
with Akpabio's story.
where people will just declare some people dead.
Yes.
They've done it to Willie
Akpabio's
Akpabio.
story, yes.
They've done it to Willie Obiano. They have done it to Azikiwe, Dr. Azikiwe. They've done it to General Gowon. Some people will just wake up in the morning and say somebody is dead. Now, when they did it to K.O. Mbadiwe, I think in the 80s or so, all the people who were involved in organizing burial committees, they had started meeting, they were already planning his burial. All the people involved died before him. So you have this. So that's why you will see that when the Senate now says, okay, the NSA should investigate this, the security agencies should investigate, the bottom of it, it's about using the media to misinform the people. And it's a major threat. You can wake up one morning, they say, something has happened to you, whereas it is not true.
Yeah, that's what the
And it is
Twitter
important,
user
in my
highlighted.
view, that Senator Akpabio did not talk about regulation.
Yeah.
He just said, let the
yes,
security
that was quite
agencies
important, yes.
manage it. So he didn't talk about regulation. But the use of media in a responsible manner is a subject that we have to continue to discuss.
Please,
I spoke
so
about
stories.
authority,
Yeah.
the conflict between the industry and the regulator. And then also, I made a point that there will be other power centers that are involved in this. Don't be surprised if nothing comes out of the investigation. Because I do not imagine that Farouk Ahmed will fold his hands and will watch it. Maybe by now he's even sending people to Dangote to try and see how they will resolve this matter. And all those vested interests are likely to come in. But it is important that we, the Nigerian people, we know the truth. And ICPC saying we will investigate, I have also expressed doubt that nothing may come out of that investigation.
All right.
These are the important issues.
All right. We'll take another story now. The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, has sparked a debate online after declaring that Igbo people are no longer marginalized in Nigeria, insisting there is no justification for continuing agitation for a separate Biafran state. The former Ebonyi State governor made the assertion while inspecting federal projects in the southeast, crediting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration with unprecedented integration of the region into Nigeria's national development. Umahi argued that sentiments of marginalization that once fueled separatist movement have eased significantly due to massive infrastructure investments across the southeast region. Let's take a look.
In the past administration, our people felt very much marginalized more than they were ever marginalized. That was the reason that people were agitating for Biafra. But I can say today that we are well integrated into the mainstream of the nation Nigeria. And so we are very grateful to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There will be no need for Biafra again. We are comfortable with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is not all about...
This is the idiot we are talking about. You can imagine what Dave Umahi is saying. Dave Umahi, who is the we are talking about? Who is the we that you are comfortable with Tinubu? That you are no longer... Who is the we that Dave Umahi is referring to? These are the people I have just talked about in this program I held now. The politicians that are used to resist the will of the people. These are exactly what I just talked about. That is what Dave Umahi is doing here. These are the people we are concerned about. Handpicked individuals, empowered, given force, given power, given names, given title, and they use it to oppress the will of the people. That is what Dave Umahi is doing. Coming here to tell you that there is no need for Biafra anymore. That now there's no more marginalization, that now infrastructure development have gone everywhere. Where on earth? Where is it? Where are they? And they come to national TV and say this just to satisfy their paymaster in Abuja. Just to make sure that maybe in the next tenure you secure a position in the federal level. You come and you tell lies. This is what we mean when we say the Biafrans, the Igbo people, more respect, have no representation in Nigeria. No single representation. You can imagine in the worst time, in our worst time in history, that is when this man is telling us that marginalization has stopped. Even when marginalization have increased to the highest level, when the marginalization have increased to the highest level, that is when this idiot is coming online to talk. It is so sad. It is so sad. But I want the whole world to see that this is the reason we will never, ever be part of Nigeria. Hold on, just 1 minute. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry for the constant disruption. Sometimes it is like that. We have to attend to so many other issues. Our life does not revolve only on these programs. We have so many other things to take care of. So thank you so much for your patience and waiting. We must continue. So when we talk about these people, you can see what Dave Umahi is saying. What a shame. It is very painful. Very, very painful that these are people that claim to represent you. These are the idiots that claim to represent you and I. It is sad.
To President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there will be no need for Biafra again. We are comfortable with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is not all about appointments. And even if you come to appointments, this minister of works, this minister that the president is using to do works in all the political zones, the Southeast is benefiting very well. We cannot be the first, and yet we are not the last. But in the past, we are not just the last. We were forgotten, we were not remembered. But the president has done that. So, my brothers and sisters, we cannot retake our rightful position by sentiments and phenomenal statements. It is by realities and being strategic. And supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is being strategic.
All right, this is an interesting development in Nigeria's political discourse. For years, infrastructure deficit has been a legitimate grievance in the Southeast. The marginalization debate remains open, but Umahi's focus on tangible development is worth noting. The second Niger Bridge, the Enugu-Port Harcourt Road, and other projects he mentioned represent real investments that improve lives and connectivity. These efforts deserve expansion and sustained commitment. Of course, reactions have trailed, and I'll take one. This person wrote, infrastructure doesn't erase decades of exclusion. Roads aren't representation, and a minister does not get to declare people's grievances over because contracts were awarded. This is politics,
just imagine,
not healing. Another ex-user wrote, finally, a leader who sees that development is the best way to...
Just imagine, just that contract it's not that they have done it to contract we awarded. You see Niger breed, what Niger breed they talk about, Niger breed for more than two decades. It was awarded. Story. Up to this moment, it cannot be finished. And this idiot will come and you are just praising and talking about, oh, you are no longer marginalized simply because there was a contract, a claim was awarded, which you never see. Which we have never seen anyone, any building, any innovation done anywhere in Biafra land.
Handle agitation. If the Southeast is getting its fair share of infrastructure and key appointments like the Works Ministry, then the focus should shift to building a stronger Nigeria together. Good roads and the SEDC are steps in the right direction. Huge debate, Rufy on fire.
Anyway, Omar is a politician. You know the thing about politicians, they will say anything.
Tell him.
As long as they are empowered, they are tilted towards a particular position. He will say anything. What do you expect Umahi to say about President Tinubu? He's Minister of Works. He's the one commissioning the project. He will say that Igbos are not marginalized. In fact, at this rate, I even say that, I'm not saying he said it, please don't get me wrong. At this rate, I even said that no hurt was done during the Civil War.
He will say, he
but
has
please,
said it.
if you believe Igbos are not marginalized, then you will believe that osmosis is the name of a Turkish footballer.
My brother.
Igbos are highly marginalized. Very, very marginalized. In many areas. In areas of government contracts, in areas of presidency. That's why we advocated during the last presidency. So since the return to democracy, so is it not right for an Igbo man to be president? Yoruba has been president. Abino Biso. Hausa Fulani, Fulani has been president. Abino Biso. Where is an Igbo man there? Ijo has been president. Where is an Igbo man there? And you're saying they are not grossly marginalized? Even the infrastructure that he's talking about, we saw railway in other parts of the country. How many rail? During this Christmas period, if infrastructure has been greatly done in Southeast, people should be using rail to travel.
Railway, even though we are the ones that are moving about more, we are the ones that are capable to pay. We can pay no matter the amount of railway amount we will pay to transport ourselves. We are the ones that have the money to pay. But yet, they will exclude our section. We are the ones using this infrastructure. Talk of rail, even in other places they're building rail. Go and check who are those using it. Oh God.
Everywhere now. How much is it? See the way we're celebrating Second Niger Bridge. As was a big project.
Yes.
And for what is worth, how many roads are they doing in the Southeast that they are shouting? What's it called? Is it the Southeast that everywhere you go, checkpoint? Is it that easy on the people?
Brother.
So it's not. You should not even say that. You see, and that's why the other day when Eyina Baribe was saying that some people don't even have the nerve to come and say some people that come and support Tinubu.
Okay.
He made a strong point there. See, so he should not even say that. But what do you expect him to say? He's in Tinubu's government. He's enjoying the government.
All right. Okay, Dr. Mati, I know that you need to speak on this topic. So Umai is saying here that no need for Biafra agitation.
No, with due respect, I disagree on this point with the Minister of Works. Now, I don't think there will be many Igbo people who will agree with him on the point of marginalization, not about Biafra, because we always say in theory that the civil war has not ended.
Don't need your contribution.
And there are a lot of Igbo people, majority of them, who think that Igbos have not been given their due in Nigeria since the no victor, no vanquish mantra of 1967. This Lagos, there are landlords that will not give an Igbo man a shop to rent, not to talk of a flat, because they will say Igbos, when they come to the environment, they will spread like cancer. So there are many Igbos who will not agree with Dr. Umahi, Senator Umahi, who will say that he's speaking like that because
Professor Umahi.
Yes, he is pro-Tinubu, or that he's in government. Number two is that beyond Igbo land, one of the problems we have in this Nigeria is that all of us feel marginalized.
You see the idiot. This is how this idiot operates. Whenever an issue that has to do with Biafra or Igbos come up, he will try to neutralize it. This man will never support anything good in the Igbo. He will never make any case for you. Whenever you see him, you think he makes a case for you, you are wasting your time. He will always come up to neutralize everything. Anytime there is a tangible fact or information about the Igbos, this idiot will always neutralize it. He will bring one thing or the other to put on top of it to let you know that, after all, is everybody. God have mercy on you.
Yoruba people, are you not aware that Yoruba people also say they've been marginalized? That's
I
why.
heard that from you.
Yes, that
this morning.
What was the struggle?
Yes.
Sunday Igbo all about? Professor Banji Akintoye. In fact, at a time in Ibadan, they were hosting Yoruba Odua nation flags.
Yes, I remember taking this.
Now,
stories.
why do you think that Northerners are fighting President Tinubu? They are saying that under President Tinubu's administration, they are also being marginalized. Okay, minorities since 1958, Willings Commission. They've been saying minority groups, either in the Middle Belt or in the South, are also marginalized. So Nigerians have this sense of marginalization because of the issues raised by Professor Wole Soyinka in a lecture titled, When is a Nation? And his argument is that you don't have a nation because you have a flag, because you have national anthem. You have a nation when the people have a sense of belonging, when they have a sense of justice, when they think that that country works for everybody.
All right.
How many Nigerians think that this country works for them? Those are the fundamental questions at the heart of the national question that we have to address so that the person from Umukwata, we have portable water to drink in our village.
And lights.
And it's
We
not,
have water, we don't have lights.
And it's not only when you come to Lagos that you enjoy the luxuries of life.
Right.
And so that a man from Igbo land will feel that this country belongs to all of us.
What luxury have you enjoyed in Lagos?
President Tinubu has a major task to bring this country together and to promote the cause of unity.
All right. Honorable David Umahi, the debate continues. Let's take this good news from...
Enough of all this nonsense. You see, this is how they roll. But I bet you, just like the topic we discussed, you can see the example of it. It just showed up. So wherever you are, continue to fight for your freedom. The politicians are not there for you. They are not there for me. And they will never be there for you, nor for me. So the earlier we realize that and continue to pursue our cause of freedom on our own, in our own terms, the better for us. I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will guide and protect every one of us. Give us that strength to fight on until we get our freedom. As we are rounding up on this very program today, fellow Biafrans, let me end with this. Truth is not treason. History is not hatred. Self-determination is not a crime. The Igbo to Biafran people are not demanding superiority. We are demanding equity, safety, and dignity. If Nigeria wants unity, it must first confront the truth. If Nigeria refuses the truth, then people will continue to seek alternatives. Thank you for listening wherever you are listening from. I appreciate every one of you. Please kindly share this broadcast to all platforms. Share to family and friends. We are going to stop here and hopefully we are going to come back again in the evening. I have so many distractions today, so I got so many things to handle. I got to run now, then come back, hopefully by the grace of Chukwu Okike Abiama in the evening, so that I can be able to round up on some other issues. Thank you so much and stay blessed. See you once again later in the evening. Stay blessed. Bye, everybody.
The very oldest language on the face of this world. Chukwu Okike Abiama pụrụ ihe niile, Chineke na-oge ndị nsọ na-efewe na isi ala niile na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile. Onye anyị na-aja mma wee anyị anaghị efe arụsị, ọ bụ naanị gị onye kere ihe niile kere eke ma ọ onye kere ya. Ọ bụ ya mere ndị nsọ na kiri ha na kwụsị ala ndị ọbụla dị ndị okenye ụlọ abụọ na ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na adịghị ndị nsọ n'ụtụtụ a ehihie abalị n'ụwa niile ebe ụmụ ya gbasasị maka na nke obere dị ngozi karịa maka na eze iko wee na-arịọ gị mma anyị na-arịọ gị anyị wee na-arịọ gị eze ebube dị ngozi etinye ọgbara n'etiti ndị ka ha rapụ ndị ka ha anyị onye bụ nna Chineke na dị nsọ ka aka nsị ndị na-etu wee baa eze obodo kwesịrị isi wee laa ya n'ihi anyị wee na-arịọ gị onye na-adịgide ma oge egide biko nụ ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee dị ọsọ ọsọ na nkede na ụmụ ga adakwa na ahụ anyị wee na-arịọ gị iwe na-adịgide ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche iwe etinye ụmụ ya ezi ụmụ ya eziokwu anyị aka ajọ ihe na ndụ anyị isi ala bulie aha nsọ n'elu ise.
But you know what? They would like you to believe that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you.